Here's a familiar scene, and I don't know how we lucked out, but we actually got a parking spot because it is packed here today. It is packed. So we're gonna head over here real quick, and then we're gonna go on down to the Whaley House, where Eli is going to use his psychic abilities to try and contact supernatural forces. So we'll be back with you soon. Oh, see, they got the back door open. So, hey, yeah, they're open. Right up there. Yeah, we gotta go next door to get the tickets, but once you get in there, Eli, there's no going back. I'm telling you, there's no turning back. We gotta go in there and get the tickets. Oh, I know, isn't that nice little Orleans cafe? And see, these pepper trees were planted by the lady of the house over hundreds of years ago. So we're gonna go inside after we get our tickets and see if anything develops at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a bright sunny July day. All right, we've got our ticket and we're on our way to the Whaley House. So I'm gonna pause it before we enter. Yeah, but this is the house. I'm gonna show you. Oh, well, they're already looking at the picture stuff. It's pretty packed today, so they're going in here to get some. Alright. Okay.
We're restoring the building, as you can see, and the wallpaper in here is accurate to the mid-19th century. It would have had a pattern like this. We chose this pattern in honor of Mrs. Whaley, who is of French parentage, born of French parents in New York City. Mr. Whaley was also born in New York City, and he was born of Scottish heritage. The furniture you see in here is not repro. These are accurate, and these are also from the 19th century, excuse me. You don't see a kitchen in this building. There used to be a kitchen, what they refer to as a lean-to structure off the back of the house.
Right.
And that was for safety reasons. In case of fire, only that would go up.
Right.
And it was also closer to water in case of fire, water for bathing, water for drinking, and water for preparing meals. The Whaleys bathed in this room here because during January and February months, believe it or not, it does get cold here in San Diego. So it would have been closer to this. This is nothing but a heat stove, nothing else. Ghost story about this room. There is a little 4-year-old girl who likes to haunt this room. We believe her to be the great-granddaughter of Mr. and Mrs. Whaley. The story that you may have heard is, the legend is that a little girl by the name of Annabelle Washburn was in the backyard and got decapitated by a clothesline.
Right.
But that's not true.
Yes.
However, Annabelle did exist. She is buried next to the Whaleys up in Mount Hope Cemetery. She died at 2 months of age. The Whaleys were upset with the fact that their granddaughter who came to visit got into ant poison, which looked like white sugary substance. Right. And the child ingested it and her throat closed up and she died.
Okay.
So in order to cover up the fact that they weren't watching their granddaughter, they made up a story about another child, which actually existed.
Okay, yeah, I never heard that one before.
Yeah. On a personal note, last Friday, I had a woman come in here and like we handed to you the paperwork that says, you know, self-guided tour, et cetera, et cetera. She says, I don't want that. I don't want to be influenced. I want to feel the house. I said, feel away. So she toured the house and came back to me 10 minutes later and says, come with me. There's a little girl sitting in that chair. I said, okay. And she said, and she's sitting there swinging her legs back and forth, kicking and happy. And I said, okay. And then she said, and she likes you because you tell the real story. That's a Whaley child. And I said, okay. Turns out she was a sensitive. She was like a little boy in Sixth Sense. I could see dead people.
Right.
And she saw the child. There's also a little ghost dog that likes to run through here. People have caught him on film. It's Dolly. It's the Whaley's dog. She's a little Karen Terrier. Sometimes people will feel her brush by her legs or feel like bugs next to you, or you might feel a wet nose on there. The Whaley child, she likes to come up and hold your hand, especially if you're a woman and a mom, or she likes to wrap her arms around your leg to give you a hug. People have felt that against here.
Thanks. What's on there? Why it's like that?
Cool.
What do you think someone?
Oh, well, I'll tell you I'll let you, I mean, last time we were here, like I said, upstairs, and...
We go out? Let's take a picture here because you got that glass.
See that painting? There's a little girl last time said that painting was smiling at her. And then we came up here. Coming up the stairs. You gotta get some pictures of the theater, Eli. Wonder if they have a docent up here. No, she's not here today. Now, you'll go in this room here and tell me if the curtain is moving. Just go in there and look to your left and tell me if the curtain is moving.
To my left?
Look down to your left.
That's right.
Left.
Yeah, it is moving.
Why is it moving?
It is moving. Serious?
I know. It always moves.
Why? Because there's...
No, there's nothing.
Why do you put the glass? You don't let you take pictures.
Well, you can take pictures.
You can't with this, it'll reflect.
You should have seen the pictures I got from here last time.
I know what I could do.
Oh, hi. Hi. I was here, I don't know, about a month ago with my folks when the kid took the picture with the chair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that he's going to send us a copy of that.
Oh, it's on his website. Well, it's on a website, a Whaley House.
Maybe he sent it in?
Yeah, because we,
Yes.
my...
I had forgotten to mention to him, to ask him to email it in.
it's on the site because we saw it.
I'm going to have to look now because I swear, I was sitting in the hallway when I took the picture. And I kept thinking my eyes were playing tricks on me.
Right.
But I guess they weren't. We have not found any chair in the house that looks like that.
Yeah, it's that was
Totally
wild.
different,
Yeah.
Totally different. And, you know, something else happened strange the other day, and I didn't mention it to anybody because I thought, you know, staff comes in here on the weekends, they do other things, but backstage where our dressing room is, there was a ladder back chair sitting there just behind the wings for about just one day. I have no idea what that, I mean, it was a real chair, obviously. But there are similar chairs in the house, but I didn't see any that were missing.
Yeah.
So one day it was there and I thought, well, maybe that photograph that I saw was really this ladder back chair and not what I thought I saw. But the next day it was gone. So I have no idea.
No, you in the picture on on the website there, it's like a wicker. It was like a wicker.
It's a very different chair.
Yeah, and there was another chair in the back off to the side, and the podium was pushed over.
Yeah,
and
the things were moved.
yeah.
As if people had been on the stage, moved stuff around.
Right.
I was here the whole time. Nobody was on the stage, and nobody moved anything. So it's very strange.
Yeah, because I was in here at the same time. I was, and I walked out, and he was in here with his sister and so forth.
Yeah, I was looking at the picture, and he says, "This doesn't look right." Well, it didn't look the same, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's out there. I don't know the exact, website because, like I said, my father found it, and then.
So it was not our website. It was probably another Whaley House.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to go search under Whaley House and see what I come up with.
Yeah, because I went to, initially I went to like a message board type thing, and then it had like posting, and the mother had written in what had happened.
Okay,
And then,
good.
and then it had her email address, so my father emailed her and asked her for the picture, and then she said that he would be putting it on, sending the pictures in, and then eventually they got a before and an after picture up there now. So.
Because his sister took a picture a half an hour before he did.
And I took pictures in here and didn't get anything. Didn't get anything. Yeah.
It's just happenstance.
Yeah. It's so strange.
But I did talk to somebody else on staff, and she said, you know, something like that happened once before with the chairs on the stage in a photograph. And, you know, my thought at the time was either his photo was a picture in time different when things looked that way, or the other point was that maybe the ghost was just playing tricks with his camera, which they've been known to do that.
Right.
But the fact that it's happened more than once makes me think that probably they were just changing stuff with his camera. But the woman I talked to on staff, she said, you know, maybe they're trying to tell us that they want a different chair there.
Yeah.
But there is no chair like that in the house. So it's very strange. I'm going to have to go look for that now because
Yeah, it's out
after a while
there.
you begin to doubt what you really saw.
I know. Well, yeah, I thought the same thing because I just came in here and I took a quick kind of peek through the crowd at his camera.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a good, really
I looked at
good
it 5 or
look.
6
Yeah.
times because I mean, I kept thinking, maybe I'm just not seeing it right. So I
Right.
went back and I looked again. I must have looked at it 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
But the center chair was a totally different chair.
Yeah, and like I said, when you see it on the website, you can see there's other things that are different. You know, the podium's moved back.
the
There's
side
another
chairs
chair.
were moved,
Right.
there were other things that were just different. Yeah.
That's so wild.
How come the stage on,
So, see,
yeah.
actually, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, this is a small room and people would have had trouble seeing over the heads of the guy in front of them. So that's one reason that they had the stage raised that high. The other thing that somebody who was in stagecraft told me that by having the back of the stage that much higher, it gives you an illusion of distance. So things that are way at the back look like they're farther away because they're up higher. So I think it was done probably for both reasons.
Yeah.
But since the day that he took that photograph, we had something else strange that I noticed.
Oh, okay.
I was sitting, because I had been always sitting in that hallway.
Right over there.
And since they put a lock on that door, they didn't have a need to have a chair there and have someone go to the door.
Can we take picture of you?
Sure.
Okay, I didn't want to put you on camera.
Oh, I don't care.
Oh, okay.
No, that's not a problem.
Okay.
One thing that we did find is an energy field. And I found it by accident. There was a lady standing in the hall, and I was sitting in a chair talking to her. She was sort of rocking back and forth, and she said, you know, I'm not doing this. So I checked it out, and there is an energy cell there, an energy field, one spot.
And right below that is the passage from the store to the little kitchen area back there?
Just about.
Yeah, because when I was here last time, I know he's going to laugh at me, but I was walking through there and I just stopped. And I was standing there and it felt like someone was pushing on my head, squeezing on my head.
Now I'll show you how you can actually feel the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah. She was standing here. She was actually standing talking to me because I was right there. And she was kind of rocking back and forth. But I found that, as long as you stand in this spot, you totally relax. Close your eyes because then you tune out all the other junk in the world. Feel this pushing you. It knocks you right off your feet.
Yeah, and that was downstairs, but
it's coming from the earth. Now, what causes it, I don't know. My only other theory is perhaps that's where the gallows was.
Yeah. And when I was downstairs, so I didn't say anything to anybody, and I said to my mother, I said, hey, come here and stand right here. And she stood there, and she started to fall back.
Exactly.
And then another girl
So
was
it's
coming.
downstairs on the
Another
same
girl was
spot.
coming through, and Mom said, and the girl said, what's going on? Mom said, just stand here. And the girl said, what for? Why? And then so she stood there, And the same thing, she started going backwards.
Yeah.
And she said, "What is that? What is that?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's an energy field. It's not ghosts. It's an energy field, and it's right here. We've tried. You can kind of feel a little bit as you get out away from it, but it seems to be centered right about there. It's very strange. Check it out.
Do you want to stand there?
I did. I saw the
Well,
curtain.
what should
And I noticed the more time you spend in here, the more time you spend. Like if you just kind of walk around,
more
and-
sensitive.
right? Because
To relax. Turn toward me. Turn toward me. Just stand. Yeah, right there. You want me to hold your camera? By relaxing totally and closing your eyes, you actually tune out the outside world more, so you feel it more. And when it hits, I mean, it hits hard. I mean, it'll practically knock you off your feet. And I had a couple people who stood down there, and it actually goes in a circle.
it's kind of going
So
around.
if you, so if you, eventually it'll go this way, and then pretty soon, if you allow it to, it will actually start to rotate you.
I'm gonna turn the camera off.
Very strange. I feel very at home in the clothes. I feel like probably this might have been something I did in some different lifetime. Yeah.
Right.
But I've always been fascinated with San Diego history, and especially the Whaley House. Years ago, when I worked for the Historical Society, I always wanted to work here. Didn't have the time I was a student. I just had the one job I had, that was it. 35 years later, I finally retired, and now I can work here.
How's that moving? I know. What? How's that moving? What?
The curtain moving in this is not spooks, I'm sorry.
That gets everybody good.
It does get everybody, and actually, I don't see much back there, but that's the backstage. That's the wings of the stage. You go about this far, and then you hit the stage. Everybody has to look through the keyhole. Did you see much? No. I had a lady here Friday. She's very sensitive. She's local. She's from Ocean Beach, so she comes here periodically. And she said every time she's in that area back there, at the back of the staircase and around that bedroom, she said she has this overwhelming feeling of despair. And that was Violet's room.
Violet?
Violet is the daughter who committed suicide.
Oh, okay, yeah. No,
She actually, her marriage ended a long time before she finally killed herself. So,
okay, it's downstairs.
she died in the downstairs back room because she shot herself outside in the outhouse. But her father carried her in, and she died instead. So it's just very, there's a lot of vibes that go on in this house.
right.
We've got a different upstairs tour guide. Upstairs tour guide?
Yeah, it's just too hot and sunny.
Your folks been in here?
Oh yeah.
What do they think?
But they think they like it.
Did they see anything in the front? Did they see anything different?
Well, we were here when the deal went down with that picture. The kid took that picture.
You guys were here?
Yeah. I have to show you. Get the address of that website and then. That was. Kids break.
And the staircase
be done? Well, I don't understand how these people die. Why they make it sound like that? You know what I mean?
Huh?
What happened?
See, before this home was built in the 1850s, this was the site of the gallows. Come here. See right here? This is where the hanging tree was, right where that archway was. Right there where that archway is. And that's where they used to hang people. This is where they killed a lot of people. And then the guy bought this place and built his house here. And ever
That's
since.
Mr. Whaley's writing desk, Mr. Whaley's stovepipe hat. This is Mrs. Whaley's nursing rocker, where she used to rock her babies and nurse them. That's Mrs. Whaley's pump organ. And the archway is in the approximate area where they feel that the original gallows stood before the house was built. Sometimes people will be filming in this area. Their batteries could go dead in their camera, or if they're super sensitive, they'll feel a slight choking around their neck. We're not quite sure if that's exactly where it was, but we feel that that might be where it was. The ninth stairs also might be the area where it is, because the ninth stair is where there's two legends, where Mrs. Whaley was held at gunpoint when they came to steal documents, but also where approximately the height of the gallows would have been. Sometimes when you're standing on the stair, you'll feel somebody push you, trip you, you might feel dizzy, people feel choking sensation, you might hear somebody trying to whisper something in your ear. Very strange on the ninth step. When the stairs are empty, it would be good to take a photograph of it, because people have picked up images of Mr. Whaley on the stairs.
Oh, see, I wanted to show them that book in there, of all the pictures.
Let me just tell you a little bit about this back room here, because this back room is pretty interesting.
Okay.
In the 19th century, the Victorians often had what they referred to as a sick room or a quarantine room. And this room, we believed it to be the room where, we very strongly believed that it was where Thomas Whaley Jr., the baby, died. He could have died upstairs, but he would have then spread the scarlet fever. You see, he had scarlet fever and he passed away. They had the 19th century had these rooms that were close to back doors to get bodies out quickly in case somebody did die, close to the well to bring water in to cleanse the sick person or to keep them hydrated. So that's why we feel that he was down here. We also know that Violet Whaley died down here. 2 months after she was married, her husband, who was a bit of a cad and probably abused her, left her. And she probably didn't realize that was a good thing. But to be 19 years old and divorced in the 19th century was a bad thing, because you were considered damaged goods and more than likely didn't remarry. It would be better if your husband died. So what happened was she lingered around here for another 2.5 years until she was 22 years old, and on August 19th she took her father's pistol, went out to the outhouse and shot herself in the heart. Her father heard the gunshot, went and got her, brought her into this room, laid her on a settee, because the bed wasn't here at the time, and she slowly died of her gunshot wound. Probably more so of a broken heart, but this is where she died. Lillian Whaley, the youngest of the 6 Whaley children, lived here until 1953 and lived in this room until she was sent off to a senior citizen home, where she shortly thereafterwards passed away. Oops. You want to go look at the books?
Yeah, I'm going to take him, show him. He doesn't know, he hasn't heard anything about this. This is his first time.
Oh, welcome.
No, thank you. Yeah, she's a nice lady. Alright. Okay, let's go. I'm going to go this way.
They're all his family members.
Finally got to the funky book. Ooh. See that?
That could be bad photography.
But I could look at that. If I can find my pictures, I'm gonna show them to you.
You had things like that?
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
That's outside, right?
Yeah. See, look at this. I mean,
What's wrong with this one?
oh, they said there's a face on the wall or something. Oh, okay, look at there's the theater. But that's not the picture, but you can see that weird light. Now, I've got something like that too, up in the theater. Orbs. The orbs among us. I'm telling you, you're gonna have some weird, strange things on that film. I got another roll in there if you just want to snap away. Okay. Yeah, see, this isn't the picture that the kid took, but yeah. Alright, okay. So now you know you have something to compare with. Hey.
Alright. It's probably fine. And there was more circumstances to it, you probably would have.
Shadow was here.
Are you here with anybody else?
Yeah,
They're outside? Are you gonna buy a ticket to come in? That's Mr. Whaley's mom above the fireplace with his younger sister. Her mom is Rachel Pye Whaley and the younger sister is Harriet. Mrs. Whaley is on the far wall, and if you lean in on the other side of the window, you can get a picture of Mr. Whaley on the other wall. A little bit creepy, but that's his fault.
I see him, yeah.
How much does it cost?
$3 for you and $5 for adults.
Okay.
Okay.
$3 for children and $5
Hey.
Okay, I notice we're not running around. The trees on the side of the property outside were planted by Mrs. Whaley close to 150 years ago. That was for shade for her children and for places for them to play, and to keep the house cool, of course, too.
Right.
They are not native to this area.
The pepper trees, right?
Correct.
Alrighty. Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sorry you couldn't get inside the courtroom, but you have your receipt still. You come back before 5 o'clock tonight.
Okay. All right.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.
Bye-bye.
All right. All right.
Hi, you got a receipt? Here you go.
All right. There's a big green ghost. See him? Like something out of Ghostbusters. Oh. Well,
You like Flamingo? We go to Flamingo.
the Flamingo in Laughlin. Hey, you want to go by the graveyard? It's just right up the road here. Spell.
Amount of time?
Oh yeah. Okay, we're headed to the graveyard. Okay.
Where did you say we stepping on people?
Oh, I'll show you. Follow me. This is Fred's